just like that, it's the penultimate heat. 7 of them this morning, so many, but we're whizzing through them. Lorena Martin of Spain goes in lane 9. She was 8th at the World Indoor Championships last spring. Habitam Alemu takes lane 8. She was 6th in Tokyo. She's done 1:58.59 this season, but she's not actually raced since May. The Ethiopian is still in 1:58 form today. Agnes Raharole of France takes lane 7, European Indoor Championship bronze medalist. Hedda Heine of Norway takes lane 6. Lane 5, Catriona Bisset, number 5 on the world list with a new national record and 4th place at the London Diamond League, 1:57.78. So in form, look towards those last few Diamond Leagues. Silesia, Monaco, London, if you perform well there. That was only a few weeks ago. Rosemary Amanza takes lane 4. She's been running sub-2 for a decade, this athlete from Cuba. Her best 1:56.28 came in 2021, and 1:59.5 this season. Lane 3 sees Flavia Maria de Lima of Brazil, and the final athlete on lane 2. In lane 2, Matcha Kohlberg, semi-finalist in Eugene. She's just seen Christina Herring, her teammate, successfully navigate the round. She was 2nd in the 2nd heat to secure her spot in the semi-final. Just a reminder, first 3 automatically qualified. That semi-final takes place on Friday evening. There's decent recovery for these women. There's not necessarily any need to hold back and conserve energy. And the heats have been fast so far. One in sub-2 minute clockings, and the time qualifying marks led by the local athlete Bianca Kerry, 2 dead, 0.2 at the moment. Catriona Bisset, really experienced, positive runner, putting herself in the lead at the moment. Matcha Kohlberg, almost identical tactics to her teammate Christina Herring. She opts for the inside. Hedda Heine has had a good first 200 metres. It's 27.95 the whole field, so not lightning fast. And Heine and Raharole just lining up behind Bisset.
Well, it was a little bit rough at the crossover. You saw Heine get a little bit of a bump as she crossed over to her position. This is good from Bisset because she does this in Australia. She loves to control the race. In the back of her mind, she will remember that at the World Championship opening round last year, she had a tumble, and it was a really bad injury that she copped from that. So controlling the race out the front, done it a million times before. This is the best way to run this heat for Catriona.
Spoken by a front-running Australian, Tamsin Manu. But Catriona Bisset, that was very, very good. You're right, it was a horrible fall in Eugene for Bisset. She carried those battle wounds into the Commonwealth Games. That came too soon, really, for her recovery. But she's back on track this season with that new national record, running very well, running strongly here. Hedda Heine outperforming herself based on what she's done this season so far, holding on to 2nd place at the moment, making positive moves to get onto the back of the Australian. This is our first look at Habitam Alemu. The Ethiopian has had a quiet race. It's pushing and shoving behind Raharole and Almanza clashing. Matcha Kohlberg has been spewed out the back of this group at the moment. There's 120 to go. Bisset pumping the arm. She's going hard. You might as well. You don't want to leave anything to chance. I think Alemu and Bisset might look around at the big screens in a moment and realise that they've gapped the other athletes, but do they want an easier semi-final? Alemu, she hasn't raced since May, and here she is winning her opening round. And Catriona Bisset in 2nd. Hedda Heine so nearly 3rd there, but that 1:59.36, that's swift. It was a brilliant finish from the Brazilian. Flavia de Lima, she's come in with a season's best of 2:1.21. I think she's just gone sub-2 for a new personal best. The Brazilian with a massive improvement. It's 2 dead 91. There was a big gap behind. So that means no time qualifiers from this heat. Heine, that is the race of her season. She was 800ths away from giving herself a semi-final spot, but instead the Brazilian timing it perfectly.
Well, it was all about Catriona Bisset. She controlled that race, didn't she? And wonderful, wonderful effort by the Australian. She looked so supremely confident. You see there, it was a bit rough. Amanza just tripping on the back of the French athlete's heels, but you see here, Alemu's working really hard to get that win from Catriona, but she's an Olympic finalist, Alemu, so we hadn't seen a lot of her, the athlete who was encouraged to get into running by a teacher, but she looks like she's back in that elite shape. But Bisset will be very pleased to get that race done. She's, you know, been missing her greyhound, Plum, back at home, so she's a little bit homesick, but you know what? I'm sure Plum the Greyhound is watching on TV back in Australia.